Hello everyone. Today we are going to discuss about the block diagram reduction rules. So first initially what is block diagram? Block diagram is the shorthand pictorial representation of the system. So in block diagram we are having each functional component and the flow of signals from one subsystem to another. So we are having different components in the block diagram. So we are having blocks, that blocks represent the components, and we are having arrows, that arrows represent the direction of signal flow, and we are having summing points, that summing points represent the merging of signals, and we are having takeoff points, that takeoff points represent the branching of a signal. So here we are using the block diagram reduction rules in order to represent a complex system in simple way. So we are having many complex systems. In order to represent that complex systems in a simple way, we are using the block diagram reduction techniques. For example, I am having the system which is having the two blocks G1 and G2, and the overall value of this system is, first for example, the input is U, and after this block G1 I am getting U into G1, and after this block, and this is applied to the block G2, and after this you are getting the output as U into G1 into G2, that is U is multiplied with G1 and that is multiplied with G2. So I need to represent this system in a simple way. So in order to represent that one I am taking only single block, and here the gain value, this block value is equal to the multiplication of individual block values. So here I am having some gain G1, here I am having some gain G2, and I am representing this system in a simple way. I am using only single block, and that block is having the gain G1 into G2. So here also you are getting the same output, that is U is multiplied with this value. So the value is U into G1 into G2. So whenever two blocks are connected in series or two blocks are connected in cascade, then it is replaced with a single block. But here this block value is the multiplication of individual block gains. So in these two cases you are getting the same output only. So this system is having two blocks, so this is somewhat complex when compared to this one. So this is the first rule of block diagram reduction. So whenever you are having the two blocks which are connected in cascade, that can be represented as the single block, but this block gain is the multiplication of individual gains. And the next one is, for example, if you are having the two blocks and these two blocks are connected in parallel. In the previous case the two blocks are connected in series. In this case these two blocks are connected in parallel. So here I am applying you are applying the input is U. So here you are getting U into G1. Here you are getting some U into G1. The input is multiplied with this gain, and here similarly you are getting some U into G2. So here you are having some summing point. So UG1 plus or minus UG2. So that is written as U into G1 plus or minus G2. So you have to represent these two blocks in simple form. So in order to represent that one, just you have to add these two blocks, add or subtract these two blocks. So whenever two blocks are connected in parallel, then it is represented with the single block, but the gain is equal to the addition or subtraction of individual block gains. So G1 plus or minus G2, and same U is applied as input. So finally you are getting U G1 plus or minus G2. So in both the cases the output is same, but instead of drawing two blocks, here we are representing this somewhat complex system with the simple system. So whenever two systems are connected in series, we are representing that one with a single block, but the gain is a multiplication of individual block gains. So whenever we are combining the blocks that are connected in parallel, in that case we are representing with a single block, but this block gain is equal to the addition or multiplication of individual blocks. And here comes the roll number 3. So in this, so here I am having some 2 blocks, and here a part of output is getting back to the input. So whenever a part of output is getting back to the input, then it is said to be feedback. So we have to eliminate these feedback. We need to represent this complex system in a simple way. So in order to represent that one, here I am having U applied as input and U. So in order to represent this complex system, I am drawing the single block. So here the overall gain is represented as forward path gain G divided by 1 plus or minus G into H. 1 plus or minus G into H. So this complex system I am representing with G by 1 plus or minus G into H. So here if it is negative feedback, then we will get G by 1 plus GH. If it is positive feedback, then we will get G by 1 minus GH. So forward path is the path from input to output. The path from input to output. So this is the path from input to output. So here the forward path gain is G by 1 minus individual loop gains, or 1 plus individual loop gains. So here the loop is this G and H. So loop is nothing but it is the closed path. So here G and H is the loop. So here the transfer function or the output equation of this system is G by 1 plus or minus GH. So we are representing this as single block, and we are getting U into G by 1 plus or minus GH. So whenever in any complex system you are seeing this type of system, then you have to represent this complex one with this single block. And the rule number 4 is the interchanging the summing points. So for example, if you are having the two summing points, the summing points are used to represent the merging of signals. So here I am applying some A and here I am applying some B. So the overall output is A plus or minus B. And A plus or minus B here I am getting, and again I am applying some other input C. So the overall output is A plus or minus B plus or minus C. So I want to interchange the summing point. So after interchanging the summing points also, you need to get the same output only. So here initially here we are having B, here we are having C. Now I am interchanging this summing point to this side and this summing point to this side. Finally also we need to get the same expression. After interchanging also we need to get the same expression. So here A, C, so A plus or minus C, and B, A plus or minus C plus or minus B. If in some cases we are not getting the same expression after interchanging also, in that cases you need to add some gain functions, or you need to add some take of points and so on. So this is the rule number 4, interchanging of summing points. So the next rule is moving a summing point after the block. For example, you are having the system, the block diagram like this. So here U1 is the applied input and we are applying U2 from here. So U1 and U2 are applied to the summing point. So here the output is the U1 plus or minus U2, and this U1 plus or minus U2 is given to the block and this is multiplied with the block gain. So finally we are getting G into U1 plus or minus U2. u1 plus or minus u2. So if we want to move these summing points after the block, we want to move this summing point after the block, so here I am having u1, I am moving this summing point after the block, and here I am having g, so u1 into g, and the summing point is moved after the block point, after the block. So what you are getting, u1g, and here you are having u2. So u1g plus or minus u2, but here the output expression is g into u1 plus or minus u2, so you need to get g into u1 plus or minus u2, but instead of that here this g is not there, actually initially this g is not there. So what you are getting, whenever you are moving the summing point, so whenever you are moving the summing point after the block, you are getting the expression u1g plus or minus u2, but you need to get g u1 plus or minus u2. So you need to get one more g here in order to satisfy the condition, because after moving the summing point also you need to get the same expression, so whatever you are having initially. So in order to get that one, you are adding some block here which is having the gain of g. So here you are getting u1g this side and u2 into g this side, so u1g plus or minus u2 into g. So after moving the summing point also you need to get the same transfer function, same value. So in order to get that one, you are adding one more block in this path in order to get the same output. So whenever you are moving the summing point after the block, you need to add the block with the gain of g, in feedback path. So the rule number 6 is moving the summing point ahead of the block. Ahead is nothing but the before the block. So initially, for example, you are having the summing point here. So here the applied input is u1, and after the block you are getting u1 into g. The u1 into g is applied to the summing point, and here you are applying some u2. So here the output becomes u1g plus or minus u2. u1g plus or minus u2. So here we are moving this summing point before the block. So whenever you are moving the summing point before the block, so here we are moving the summing point before the block. So here I am having u1, so u1 and some block which is having the gain of g. So finally I need to get the expression u1g plus or minus u2. So u1g plus or minus u2. So here the u2 is here only. So u1 plus or minus u2. So here you are getting u1 plus or minus u2, that is multiplied with g. So instead of getting u1g plus or minus u2, you are getting u1 plus or minus u2 into g. So after u2 you no need to get the g. So you have to cancel out that one. So in order to do that one, you are adding one more block which is having the gain of 1 by g. So here whenever you are adding the block which is having the gain of 1 by g, then after this you are getting u2 by g. So for this summing point you are getting u1 plus or minus u2 by g, and that will come to here. So u1 plus or minus u2 by g, that is given to g, that is multiplied with g. So u1 plus or minus u2 by g, so here u2 by g, that is multiplied with u1 plus or minus u2 by g. Here you are not having g, so u1 plus or minus u2 by g is multiplied with g. So what you are getting, u1 into g plus or minus u2 by g into g. So g and g gets cancelled out. Finally you are getting the same expression previously you are having. So whenever you are moving the summing point before the block, you need to add one more block in the feedback path which is having the gain of 1 by g. So whenever you are moving the summing point after the block, you need to add one more block in feedback path of the summing point which is having the gain of g. So the rule number 7 is moving the takeoff point after a block. So this is the takeoff point. So here the takeoff points in the block diagrams represent the branching of signals. So here you are applying the input is u1, and here at takeoff point you are getting the output is u1 only. This u1 is given to the block G. After the block you are getting the output u1 into G. So we are moving this takeoff point after the block. So whenever you are moving this takeoff point after the block, so whatever the value you are having at the takeoff point, the same value you need to get after moving also. So here after moving you are getting u1 g, u1 into g. Here you need to get u1 only. At takeoff point you need to get u1 only. So but here what you are getting, u1 into g. Here you are getting u1 into g. So instead of getting u1, you are getting the u1 into g. So in order to get u1, what we have to do? We have to multiply this value with 1 by g. So you are getting the u1. So if you multiply this u1 into g with 1 by g, so you are getting the u1. So in order to get u1, you are multiplying that value with 1 by g. So whenever you are moving the takeoff point after the block, you need to add one more block which is having the gain of 1 by g. So here whenever you are moving the takeoff point ahead of the block, that means moving the takeoff point before the block. So initially this is the diagram. So u1 g, so u1 is multiplied with g. So at takeoff point you are having the value of u1 into g. So here we are shifting these takeoff point, before the block. So whenever you are shifting these takeoff point before block, after shifting also at takeoff point you need to get only u1 of g only, u1 into g only. So here I am moving the takeoff point before the block. So here we are having the u1. So here also you are getting only u1 only. But at takeoff point you need to get the u1 into g. So instead of getting u1 into g, here you are getting only u1. So in order to get u1 into g at the takeoff point, if we are adding one more block which is having the gain of g. So whenever we are adding the blocks, so you are getting the u1 into g. So whenever you are moving the takeoff point before the block, you need to add some gain. Which is having the gain equal to the block 1. Next, rule number 9. Splitting the summing point. For example, if you are having the summing point like this, so A, B and C, these are the various inputs applied to the summing point. So A plus B minus C. So the overall result is minus A plus B minus C. So after splitting the summing point also, you need to get the same output only. So here they are splitting the summing point like this. So A plus B, after that minus C. So A plus B minus C. So the rule number 10 is the combining the summing points. For example, if they are giving the summing points like this, A plus B, that is given to one more summing point and minus C. So finally you are getting the A plus B minus C. So we can combine these summing points like this, A plus B minus C. So these are the 10 rules which are used for Reduction in block diagrams. So the first one is the combining the blocks which are connected in cascade, and the second one is the combining the blocks which are connected in parallel, and interchanging of summing points, and moving the takeoff point before the block, moving the takeoff point after the block, moving the summing point before the block, moving the summing point after the block. So all these rules are used to reduce the complex circuit diagram, in order to obtain the output.